Are you thinking about becoming a digital marketer? Maybe you shouldn't. In this video, I'm going to explain why. Digital marketing as a field has been so hyped over the last few years. In this video, we're going to see if it's really what it's cracked up to be. Hi, my name's Ed. I'm Chief Marketing Officer here at CareerFoundry, and I've been working in the field of marketing for the last 12 years. In those 12 years, I've experienced the positives and the negatives, the ups and the downs of working in this field. And today, I actually want to share a few of the negatives with you. So let's be honest, every job in the world has its positives and its negatives, its ups and its downs. And it's important to have a realistic conception of what these are before entering the field. Otherwise, you might find that you take a wrong turn in your career. And of course, digital marketing is no exception. So in this video, I've taken 5 examples of the downsides of digital marketing to make sure that you're fully informed going into this new career. So, to point one. Point one is responsibility. As a digital marketer, you'll be carrying a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. Each month or each quarter, you'll have certain targets, such as a lead target or a number of sales calls that you want to make, or a certain number of sales that translates directly into company revenue. And obviously, if the company isn't hitting its revenue targets, then that could be a serious problem. And one of the offshoots or consequences of this is that marketers tend to be quite biased towards action. So they'll be carrying out quite a lot of different activities within a relatively short space of time in order to try and drive that growth. So as a digital marketer, you need to be okay with a little bit of time stress now and again, and also with carrying some responsibility on your shoulders. And that brings me to point number 2, which is balancing the short term and the long term. So on the one hand, you're biased towards action, towards delivering for the short term. And on the other hand, you need to place bigger bets, so long-term bets that will lead to the longer-term prosperity of the company. If you think about an ad campaign on YouTube or even on television, the kind of time that it takes to prepare those campaigns is quite considerable. It's going to take you a month or 2 probably to turn around those campaigns, if not more, from concept to delivery. So you need to balance the kind of investment that you put into short-term tactics and strategies with the longer-term strategies to really help build the brand in the long term. So as a digital marketer, you need to be strategic. You need to be able to evaluate the short term and the long term in order to have an effective marketing mix. And that brings me to point number 3, which is proving a return on investment. So whenever you're working on one of these long-term bets especially, you're saying to your manager or to your C-level, whoever owns the budget, that you think you can make more revenue back from this campaign than you're investing in it. And by doing that, you'll drive the growth of your company. But for something so abstract as an ad campaign or a brand ad campaign, it's obviously very difficult not only to prove the return on investment upfront and therefore convince your C-level or your budget owner, it's also even difficult to prove it after the campaign has happened. So that presents 2 challenges for the digital marketer. Number 1 is convincing your manager that the campaign is really worth it, that it's a good idea. And number 2 is, after the campaign is finished, really demonstrating that it was successful using the data that's available to you. So as a digital marketer, you need to be persuasive, and you also need to be okay with receiving rejection now and again. And that brings me to point number 4, which is internal marketing. So obviously you need to be persuasive when you're running campaigns and you're convincing managers to attribute budget to certain places, but you're also tasked with something kind of bigger. And that is building the brand of the company and selling that not only externally, but also internally. And this, to some degree, is an even bigger challenge. Because nowadays, everyone in a modern company, to some extent, identifies with that company. So as soon as you start saying, this is our brand, this is what we stand for, and this is how we talk, it kind of impacts the identity of the people that work within that company. And sometimes people might like that because it supports their identity, but sometimes people might really not like it because it kind of goes against their identity. And in this case, whenever you put a step forward and you say, this is our brand, you're going to have quite a lot of pushback from different areas within the company, and somehow you have to bring everyone together behind this unique and unified image of yourselves. So what does that mean for your skills as a digital marketer? It means you need to be really good at communication and presentation, but also at working at high levels of abstraction as well. Also, if you're finding these tips useful, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more digital marketing content in the future. Okay, that brings me to point number 5, which is product market fit. So every growing company or startup is looking for this elusive product market fit, that moment where their product meets a big need in the market and a high level of demand. But it's not always the case, and in fact, it's quite rarely the case that you really hit this inflection point where suddenly your product is in massive demand. And you're probably going to be dealing with a product where demand fluctuates over time because of external factors in the market, and also a product with some imperfections that people in the company are aware of. And you have to work with these imperfections and identify the key features and benefits and value propositions that are really attractive to your target market, deal with the frustration that the product might not be where you want it to be, and communicate with the product team very openly and candidly so that you can work together to improve the quality of the product and its attractiveness. And as a result, you need to be an optimist. Marketers need to be optimists. You need to put those frustrations in a box and use them as an inspiration to communicate productively with your product team and change things for the better. So that brings me to the end of the 5 points or the 5 downsides of working in digital marketing. I hope it shows just how important it is for you to be comfortable with this sense of responsibility that's on your shoulders for the company's growth and success. Also, the importance of clear communication and your abilities to persuade. And finally, that you have this attitude of optimism that things can change and you can be a driver for that change. And just as a bonus point, the field of digital marketing is constantly changing, whether it's new platforms or new channels or new approaches, whether it's TikTok or Snapchat, there's always going to be something new to try and new to experiment with. And you need to be excited about this. You need to have a growth mindset where if you're presented with something new, it excites you. It means that you want to go and try something out and see if it works for you and your company. So if you're just starting out in the field of digital marketing and you want to learn more, then I really recommend you check out our free short course. In that, you'll learn the fundamentals of digital marketing, from how to do marketing research all the way through to the most commonly used marketing metrics and what they really mean. You can sign up through the link in the description below. And if you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more digital marketing content in the future. If you have any questions about any of these points, then just leave them in the comments section below and I'll get right back to you. And if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest digital marketing trends, then I really recommend this video all about the biggest trends for this year. From this video, you'll get lots of good ideas for new strategies to try this year in digital marketing. So check it out here and I'll see you in the next video.